So we are now recording May 17th, 2019, Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Happy Friday!
Friday! Yay!
I literally listen for that every week now.
Unfortunately, today we have no Dennis and no funny video to start us out.
Well, I wish you'd told me. I'd have found you one.
I can go find one.
Okay.
Mine are all puppies and babies, usually.
Yeah. I have a darker side, too, that we won't mention.
Well, we won't go. Yeah, well. That's why. You know what? You know when we share our screens and we go into YouTube? Over on the right, they'll have all the suggested videos.
I know, right?
I would not want people to see that.
I thought
like when somebody goes into your
many, many times.
I'm just kidding.
You ever had anybody go into your Netflix and you're like, I don't watch those movies. I don't know what all those high school movies. Those aren't mine. Right?
Oh, well, yesterday was Mark's birthday, and all he wanted to see was Endgame. So Wednesday, and I was so tired. I was just like waiting to hit the sofa. He calls up because it's the last night at IMAX in Pooler, where it's cooler. And I'm like, what time? He goes, 9 to midnight. I'm like, okay.
3 hours long?
Yeah, Endgame is 3 hours long. And I am so glad, because I've never really watched any of the Marvel.
Is that the Ender movie?
It's all the Spider-Man and Iron Man and all those characters.
Oh, okay.
And fortunately, we rented, oh, come on, Matthew.
A sofa to sleep on because it's 3 hours long?
Yeah. Infinity War or something, which was like a prequel to this. And I'm so glad I watched it. Half the stuff wouldn't have made any sense to me. But so anyway, so that was fun. You know, we're home like 12:30, quarter to 1.
They are making movie theaters now with beds in them. Have you seen that?
I saw that.
Some of the ones like over in Bluffton, they're big padded chairs and the recliner and your feet go.
I brought
a blanket. I was, you know.
One of the coolest things I've seen is where they take theaters like that, and then they'll actually take one of the rooms for like playoff games. So football playoffs, basketball playoffs. Imagine watching like the basketball playoffs on a big, big screen.
Ah, that would be awesome.
And it's obviously the lights are like halfway down, not all the way down. So people are talking and you've got dinner and drinks. And that was a really cool event. I like
Ernest iPad.
Ernest iPad.
Hi, Ernest iPad.
But no Ernest yet.
Come on, Ernest, where are you? So anyway, that was the date night this week.
Awesome. There's Ernest.
He does wear hats.
He does wear hats. I was trying to think, if I make Mark a TBX hat, do you wear hats? And I couldn't remember. Like, I'm an idiot. Of course you do. Ernie.
Sounds like we need some fedoras made.
He's outside. Oh, he said it was gloomy.
It is. It really is. Like rain there.
Mm-hmm.
So our first subject is G Suites or Google going wonky this week. What do you think, Katrina?
Google going wonky this week? Yes, because I lost access to my file stream day before yesterday.
When you say file stream, do you mean syncing your Google Drive?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Could you still go online and get them?
Well, things were there, but I couldn't upload anything. I couldn't share anything. Yeah, it really had me. I was like, oh God, what do I do?
Well, when I had a similar kind of thing, it wouldn't upload, wouldn't do whatever. And when I looked at my icon in the upper right-hand corner, it said paused. Did you see that? Paused. So I did a Google search on why is Google pausing my account? And I came up with the answer that you're supposed to go into settings and cookies and allow googleaccounts.com. And I did do that, and it seemed to work.
So is that something new?
Well, I don't know if it's new or old. I only know that I experienced that last week too.
Did everybody have, or did other people have problems like that, or was it just?
Apparently they did, and some people worse than me, because it was a thing that I was able to search, and I read through several people. I don't just go with the top whatever. I look at several people's solutions. So a couple people did mention this about, you know, and Google changes where they put their cookies and allowing access and all of that all the time. So I have to search, but magically Google never allows you to find that in Google search. Why, I don't know, but I guess they don't want you messing with their cookies settings.
So is everything okay now, Katrina?
Yeah, it got fixed today. And it was just a matter of going into system preferences, and I had to do something to allow it to reattach to Google.
Wow, so that was a different solution than mine.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
similar though.
in my system preferences, Google Drive had become unchecked. So that was my first attempt to fix it, was to check the box, get it attached again, rebooted, and that didn't do it either. But it had to do with the little icon in the right-hand corner.
Did anybody, like, was this on Twitter? Was this a known issue? Or are they keeping it on the down low? What, I mean, how terrifying.
You log into your account about 50 times. You get tired of it and you start searching for a solution. And that's what I did. I just stopped everything that I was doing to fix the problem.
Oh boy.
And the other thing that happened was I got a notice that says index through blocked by robots.txt.
Wow.
That sounds familiar.
What language is this? It's certainly not the English that I know. None of it looks like somebody
What were you doing when you saw
in
that?
a hat and made a sentence out of it.
What were you doing when you saw that?
I wasn't doing anything. It came through as an email notice.
Tell me again.
That sounds like spam.
Well, I searched this and looked for a solution yet again on my Google account. So that's why I say Google was wonky this week. They must be doing something. And when I looked at it, okay, I'm not sure that I have, and I'm glad both Ernest and Mathew are here because they can correct my misconceptions, because I'm sure I must have some. But the way that it was worded to me, it sounds like Google puts out these bots to crawl on your site to be able to do the SEO so that you can come up in the search. And
Okay.
one of these bots, for whatever reason, got blocked. It didn't work right. Something happened. So I had to actually go into my Google account and actually click this fix this problem, because I don't know what it did. And it's supposed to be verifying my account now, and it's in the process of that. And once that happens, we're supposed to be good.
How do you know that was Google? What makes you think, you got this from an email?
I got it from an email, and then I went to my Google account, and
Okay.
You didn't click on anything in the email. You went to
No,
directly to
never. I
Google.
never.
Yeah, I know. You're
I
too
have to-
sophisticated for that. Okay, so then you went to your
Mark,
Google account.
you know not to click on any links in an email,
Yeah.
especially from something like that proposing that it's Google.
All right, so you started with
did not
Google and it was a process there. Huh.
I went to my Google account and it showed up there. It came up as, I don't know where I saw it, but one of those exclamation points with the triangle saying there's a problem. I went to the problem. It said you can fix it by verifying. I clicked on that, and I got another email that says Google is now currently verifying your account, and it'll take 2 to 3 days.
Gina, I got a really important question.
Okay.
Did you get your hair did?
Yeah.
Your hair
Yes,
darker?
I did.
It looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Same thing. Well,
You know what else went
The whole
wonky?
deal. The whole deal.
You know what else went wonky? Facebook Live with groups. So I was, Linda and I were taking over K-Ninja's Wine and Whiskey Wednesday. And we were setting up to try to do Facebook Live like we normally would through Zoom. And every time I would try to schedule a Facebook Live for a group, it would give me an error telling me that it couldn't post. And I tried multiple different types of groups. I even tried it as Linda. It was not letting me do anything. Would not let me schedule for a group. If I tried to schedule to a normal page, fine. But schedule to a group, wouldn't have it at all. Not even my own group. So
did it
I still
resolve
haven't figured out.
eventually?
No, the way I was able to make this work, because I literally was down to the last couple minutes. I also learned that with Zoom, you have the ability if you have a reoccurring meeting, if you want to transform that into a webinar, you can actually scroll down and it will say, would you like to change this to a webinar? And we'll keep the same address, the same number. Nice. So I upgraded her meeting to a webinar. Sorry, it was the only way to basically get it. So by doing that, it then gave me the ability for the whole Wine and Whiskey to choose just a live stream to Facebook. And then when I did that, it gave me the ability to choose where I wanted it to go to instead. And I could then go straight into a group. But I still haven't figured out why it wouldn't let me schedule. And it was absolutely Facebook.
Facebook is changing their groups again.
Yeah, that's true.
They're trying to make it more business friendly, although from what I've seen go ahead, Ernest.
I think it's a lot more than making it more business friendly. I think, what I read and hear is that the push of Facebook moving more to groups is to kind of return to their roots, right? Facebook, of course, was originally founded as an application for all the people at a college or all the people at, so they're returning more to their groups, hoping that actually reduces the amount of misinformation and, inflammatory things, right? When people are in smaller, more accountable groups, right? They think a lot, well, not everybody does, but most people think about, what they're going to say a lot more, right? And I think that's one of the reasons that's really driving that change, right? I watched them on CNBC kind of talk about why they're doing it, and those are the things that they cite.
That's what they're citing, and that's what they're saying, but the effect of what they're doing is very confusing because people do use groups for business purposes, and they are really starting to restrict the ways that we can do things or the way that you're allowed to present an ad and the new things that they, yes, what I'm
I don't know.
Matthew?
I think they're in uncharted territory with, they're trying to control the fake news and all of that baloney. And then at the same time, you have the two co-founders that are pulling in two different directions, So
they don't want to get rid of the paid ads. They want to figure out how to keep that and keep it clean, but they're not doing a good job. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, they are. You're right. It's they've done a lot of changes ever since they got in trouble for Cambridge Analytica or whatever it was. they've made it to where you can't export data about groups or even like some other pages about the different members, everything else. It's really been locked down. Even the analytics on the backside. So if you have a business page where you can go in, if you're doing any kind of like paid for impression marketing or advertising, what you can track out of there is completely different. You can only have, it used to be that you could have a historical reference of from your Facebook pixel, who visited, whatever, so forth. And by keeping that over a period of time, if you had another page that did the same thing, people were able to actually figure out who was who because of cross-referencing different like pixel cookie trails or whatever you want to call it. So now a lot of that stuff rolls over every, I think it's 90 days. Another thing actually that they're starting to do, and this is a positive one, Seth David shared this, was their focus on video. So they're like doubling down on their focus towards video. Any content that is, they want to see people that are engaged for at least a minute, but they're looking for, really over at least 3 minutes for video content for it to show up more appropriately in searches. More SEO basis.
And that's so totally against everything that everybody has said for ads. Keep it at 3 minutes or less if you're promoting your business.
I think they're going the way of longer content also. Not for promoting a business, but again, there's two ways to promote a business. There's the paid version, right, where it's ads. Then there's the value add content creation concept of it that they're doubling down on, is what I've heard.
And they're really trying to eliminate the organic growth. They want you to pay.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's exactly what I heard too, is they were going to get rid of that, but now this article is contradicting that. So
Confusing. We'll just have to wait and see.
Whichever one we guess will be wrong, right? They don't change it anymore.
No, I mean, I don't know. Where was the saying that if you don't like the weather, just wait? I'm feeling like that with Facebook, with Google, with all of them. If you don't like the way it is, just wait. It'll change. It'll change.
I agree. So, interesting stuff. Yep.
So, the social media is gone wonky this week. Just roll with it, if you get frustrated, get up and leave and go do something fun.
If social media gets you frustrated, go outside.
Exactly. That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, let's move on to the next subject. We want to talk about scaling new heights. Both Sara and Mathew are on panels, and Ernest.
And Ernest.
Two
panels.
Two. So, Sara, you're Monday.
On Wednesday.
You're Wednesday?
On Wednesday at 8 a.m., nonprofits.
And Mathew, you are?
Monday, I think it's 8 a.m. as well, and it's Transforming the Construction Industry panel.
What you doing, Ernest?
Actually, it's going to be Sara Prevost. I should say it the right way. Sara Prevost and I will be on that one, and I get to moderate the panel.
Oh, nice, nice.
Cool.
And then Ernest?
Tuesday morning is probably the most important one. I think I talked about it last week. That's the one for reporting. I'm also on a panel for growing your practice through groups.
Nice.
So, Woodard group thing. I mean, I've been a Woodard groups.
I'm hoping it's not Facebook group because.
Yeah.
Well, no,
talking about membership groups or something.
But to your point, you obviously are not aware of this, but they went from Woodard Group, from the Meetup platform to the Facebook platform for group management. And they did that, quite a few months ago. So I've been running a Facebook group for Woodard, ever since Boise. I mean, we started off in the Meetup platform. We just started getting a little bit of traction. and then we swapped over to the Facebook platform. So we had a little bit of a rough start because of that, but it's definitely not as I'm in a weird way. I'm actually very happy to see Facebook putting more energy behind groups, hoping that will actually get it to be more like the Meetup platform where people find us through that. Because currently, right, I mean, in the Meetup groups, we used to routinely get, a couple of people every month that just found you because of the advertising they do. And now, we don't get very much of that in the Facebook world.
So as a group admin, Gina and I actually figured this out a little while back, right? That you can link different groups. So Facebook will already say suggested groups, which they don't even ask you about, but they'll put them up there. But if you link a group, you can actually do a two-way link both ways, and it will show like, hey, both of these groups actually, they both support each other well. So that helps get more visibility for all the different members, of course, to get some cross-pollination across the different groups.
Yeah, no, and we actually do that. I think what's kind of different in this is I haven't found the local, and because, the winter groups are truly local groups, right? They're not trying to build a national audience with around an affinity of QuickBooks. They're trying to do that on a local basis. So, the emphasis is on the, eyeball to eyeball contact. So it's harder to do that. And why Meetup actually had an edge, right? Somebody would sign up in Boise for Meetup in general, and they would say, I'm a financial person, and they would get pinged with, hey, here's a group about something in that, area. And then they would go, oh, hey, let me go check that out. And Facebook's not quite there yet, but hopefully they will.
Got it.
That's the only reason, a lot of people have left Facebook, but my groups, I can't.
It's hard to keep it. Yeah.
I mean, as a sole practitioner, it just opens up your whole world to, support and camaraderie and you don't feel so alone.
But you're not a sole practitioner.
Oh, yeah, I have employees, but still.
You have business. Come on, you're killing me right now, Sarah.
Yeah, but there's a difference between, like, I used to work for PW. I mean, hundreds of people, a big break room and happy hours and stuff.
The nice thing with groups are the ability, like I've talked to some of our clients or other people's clients. If you've got a question and you need to find out information from an accountant, free resource. Hello. You want to pay $400 an hour, or do you want to ask a question?
But what group gives you is the validation, because if you just put that question out there on Google, who knows what kind of answer you're going to get. Mm-hmm. If you do it to a group people that you've been talking to, that hey, she knows her stuff. I'm going to see what she has to say. I think it gives it more validation.
And even if you think you know what you're talking about, sometimes you want to throw it out there and make sure you still know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
This stuff changes so fast.
Everything.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I like to validate that occasionally too. It's just I still don't know what I'm talking about.
Brandon, you're correct. You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. I appreciate that, Matthew. The validation that I was seeking.
Hey, Brandon, can I shift topics for a minute? I want to hear what Brandon has to say about changing the compensation rate on residuals.
What?
Did you see that email?
No.
Are you talking about on the bank draft and per QBO?
No, I'm talking about they went back and they found some obscure paragraphs that has led them to now include more expenses or more of the overall cost into the expense side, therefore reducing your overall residual.
We'll see how that plays out. I don't know how it's going to affect us yet. I should know at the end of this month.
Yeah.
Man,
Until
they're
you see
coming. They're coming
So-
after us at all angles.
After the last audit, we're recording. I'll keep it. We'll talk later.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
off
recording,
camera.
yes.
Yeah, I didn't want to put you on the spot. I'm just.
So I'm going to go back to scaling new heights.
Yeah.
Monday, Matt. Tuesday, Ernest. Sara, Wednesday.
And then Ernest, what other day?
Yeah, I don't even know the other one.
You don't even know? Okay.
Yeah, actually, it's like a 30. I was looking through they're actually got a whole thread. There's a 30-page PowerPoint that we're trying to get them to basically, whittle down to maybe like 5.
Wow. Good luck.
So, yeah.
30-page.
They were going to go through 12 slides in 10 minutes.
Wow.
And my feedback was, look, you're going to be so busy doing slides, you're not going to be able to talk.
Right.
Yeah, that's a danger.
Right.
So do they come up with the questions? I haven't been on a panel. Do they come up with the questions beforehand to give you a heads up, or you're supposed to be winging it?
Both panels I'm on, we already have all the questions.
Oh, good. Okay.
And we so for our panel, we met up this week to finally talk about it, and we ended up creating a Slack channel for all of us to combine, basically put our questions that we want to have asked into the Slack group. Then I need to take them, kind of combine them together, see if any of them are exactly the same, and then we'll come up with the list of the actual questions we expect to have. Is the same, those are the ones we will plan to ask, but you of course open it up to where other people can ask questions at the same time. But
All right. So you're a moderator, so you're helping design this panel, right?
yes, thank you, Sara Prevost.
I guess she recommended you or something.
Yeah. That's cool though. I mean, I like doing that stuff. So she's like, you're good at that. You should be the moderator. And everybody's like, good idea. You do
There
it.
you go. You got elected.
Well, Greg is so freaking funny. And they mix in Megan and me. If we get on a roll.
Those slides will go out the window, huh?
Yeah.
And the day will be done.
We'll wake them up.
I'm really looking forward to it. This is my first time in this industry doing some type of a panel or presentation officially. So
Me too.
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I used to do it when I was in my car audio industry for 14 years. We actually had a nonprofit organization called Mirror, Mobile Electronics Retailers Association. And one of my mentors, Bob Graham, he was the president of it. He got me pulled into it and showed me the power of writing articles, ended up getting me onto the educational committee for it, to where I helped put together all the educational content for their Knowledge Fest. And they used to send me around to the different events to teach different business owners about the car audio industry. And one of the coolest experiences ever. So I had
For
one
some
time.
of us, it's outside the comfort zone. You're a natural. I'm like, drag me kicking and screaming. I'll do it.
Yeah, my mom says I've always been.
This is all right. He'll kick me.
I already did once on this topic, so.
Uh-huh.
So Katrina, you're now having unstable network. Internet.
It was when I went to go look for a YouTube video.
You look pretty clear now.
Yeah, no, it's all good again. When I got out of YouTube and everything was fine, I just couldn't find a video.
Sucking down your
YouTube is
bandwidth.
joining the fun, huh? They're wonky too. Well, I guess they're part of Google, so okay.
Does Dennis have a funny video?
Dennis, you are muted. Let me unmute you.
Yeah, I do have one, I think.
Okay, well, let's
Excellent.
watch it. Thank you, Matthew.
Been running kind of late here.
That's okay. Well, we would rather late than never.
Okay.
I do love watching the videos every week.
I know, right?
I keep thinking of the one with the guy in the porta potty. Poor guy.
He was the boss.
That was the boss.
I look, you are not a robot.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Penguins.
Yay!
This guy's pretty excited.
That's me after my pot of coffee in the morning.
The end's kind of funny.
That is hysterical. Yay!
He's just circling it.
He's getting some extra fish tonight.
Watch this.
Or he's the 2-year-old.
Yeah. Does he get in trouble?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me that link so I can watch it in real time because I got like every 20th frame. So.
Oh, really? You don't have good signal in the garage? Are you in the garage?
Nice.
Let's see. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. I think
know,
we're
Ernest,
going to end
sometimes-
with Larry's question. How do you handle scam phone calls?
I entertain
Depends on what
them.
mood I'm in.
Put them on hold and transfer them to the IRS.
That's a good one.
Can you hold,
Well,
please?
I've tried, just keeping them online, and then
Oh, really? Microsoft again? You didn't fix
I
it?
know, right? And then when they figure it out and they start cussing at me, I'm like,
Oh, boy, they get
I
mad.
know, right?
I got my
No.
first phone call from the IRS today.
Did you?
I was like, wait, are you really? You know, I was totally on scam guard.
Well, I said to him, technology is getting better and better every day.
Mhm.
How long have we been on this phone call? Dead silence. Are you scared?
Ooh, yeah, I had the, what was the one? Oh, the refund, Microsoft refund. I got that right before the Zoom.
What's that?
It's like a Microsoft or Windows or something refund department.
Yeah, for my technical service I had to pay for, right? Because of the virus they had on my computer. They're going to finally refund me for that?
But this one, they tell you to call a 1-800 number.
Wow.
What is this skirting the law by, I don't know.
I kept putting this guy on hold, and after about 30 minutes, maybe 45, I'd call and tell him I'm doing something. He'd have me do. He finally said, "You're pulling my leg." He said, "You go flap your mama." What? Flap my mama? I said, "That's not nice. My mama would not appreciate that."
No.
Well, what I'm doing now is, have you found God?
Yeah, there you go. You need to turn a bad situation into a good situation.
No matter how nasty you are, there is redemption for you. No matter what they say, I continue on that track.
I love it.
I get hung up on so much with these scam calls. Yes. So, Larry,
How do
what
you
is
do
your
it?
method?
I just come to the end of the road. We just don't answer the phone anymore. And I know it's not a good solution, but,
So you come to the end, and what do you do?
I just don't answer the phone. If it's a number I don't recognize, I don't answer.
Well, what they're doing is if it says
Local area code.
898, which is my island, but then says out of area or something, and I'll answer and I go, "Hello, out of area."
Actually, so I just set something up for my dad when I was there the last weekend. He got this scam bot thing that you plug in the phone system.
Oh,
And it comes
really?
Yeah, I mean, I'll check with him in about a week or so and see how it works, but it comes pre-programmed with a whole bunch of like the scam numbers.
Uh-huh.
And then it has like a big red button that if you get a phone call and it's from somebody that's like scam, you click the button. It's like a Staples Easy button.
Yeah.
And it will block that then.
But does it talk to them just like your bot talk to their bot?
No, it just blocks the number.
So you put up a
That's no fun.
But I've been blocking them on my cell phone, and they just use a different number each time.
Right. But you
I can tell from the town. I can say, oh, hey, if it's from Blackshear, Georgia, yeah, it's Google. Google Ads or Google.
Right.
There's Google. There's what's the other one it calls?
Here's a better one. Anybody ever upsets you? Call and you just go and add their phone number to the you're looking for healthcare quotes. I get 10, like, I must have upset somebody, I don't know, but I get like the first day, literally 10 phone calls in a row, like the day somebody, like either it got added or something, and I still get like 5 phone calls a day asking me about my health care.
I don't know what happened to that block calls. There used to be a telephone number that you could call that would block all of those calls. That seems to have gone away or whatever.
The problem is the more sophisticated ones are able to put in whatever number they want.
Spoof. Yeah.
Yeah. And, there's no end to it.
Well, I think they've gotten hold of some really big groups lately.
I have that new app from AT&T, Call Block.
Yeah, mine will tell me AT&T. It'll say scam or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
What if I have Verizon?
You should change companies then. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
The app's not made by AT&T. I was just looking at it. It's actually made by, where was it?
Well, they have where's my phone?
HIYA. So I'm sure that, Verizon has something similar.
Similar.
Yeah, they probably call it a different thing. It's probably the same
telephone.
The only thing worse is when you register a website domain, all the phone calls and everything else, like if you don't put a different number, which because you're actually not, like you're supposed to put a number you could be reached on.
Yeah.
But man, you just get phone call after phone call after phone call.
I haven't had too much beaten up over that, and I always put in a real number.
I lost my phone.
They give you the option, you got to pay $10 more or something or whatever it is, and you can go unregistered, like
privacy. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you have 30 plus domains, it starts getting expensive.
Right. Well, guys, we are overtime again this week. Is there anything we want to say? I know, right? Is there anything we want to say before we end?
Brandon's in the clouds. I can see that.
I know.
Brandon stays in the clouds, and that's why I got the confirmation from Mathew that I don't know what I'm talking about.
He doesn't, because it actually looks like he's in the water clouds.
Matthew's in the clouds too, and Ernest was really in the clouds earlier.
Yes, he had dark clouds. Everyone else has like
clouds. Right.
I can't help but feel like Ernest is always looking down on us. Nice.
All righty, everybody. We're gonna next week. See you all same time, same place next week.
Have a nice weekend.